my toast to our wonderful host, Baki. I hope you can hear me, Baki. Nasa Sina Ave. Welcome, my friends. Thank you, everyone, for coming out here. Pretty good. I think we'll make it foam over.
Yeah.
That was how excitedly I wanted to drink versus. Anyway, sorry. We have got a phenomenal feature this evening, and we've got a phenomenal editor. You all keep hearing me talking about the magazines that I do, cc&d and Down in the Dirt, but this woman worked with the Rhino magazine, and if I could even grab it, which I will do later on, huge volumes, annual things that come out, so you'll get to hear everything about Deborah Rosen a little bit later on, but now I'm going to come up with some poems, especially because the new issues of cc&d and the Dirt magazine. I went to the doctor earlier today, and I actually had to write this down before I went to the train station, because I saw this. This was the funniest thing to me. I saw an article on a downtown Chicago light post that said, "Most capitalism is nothing more than human and animal slavery."
Yeah.
This response on it, somebody actually wrote, said, "You're a broke douche." And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I'm like, "You're a broke douche. You're going to make me call it about capitalism. You're a broke douche." And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Anyway, sorry. This is the things you see. The new issues of cc&d and Down in the Dirt magazine are out. And this is from the IAC building in New York or something. It just looks like this cool little pattern, so I had to have it. It was this building, and it was like every piece of glass that is on this building, every piece of glass in it was custom made, because they're all just these craziest shapes and sizes. They're all at angles, and it's all really weird. But the cool thing, because cc&d and Down in the Dirt is starting to do magazines now also, they'll release them as a 6x9 ISBN book. We've released it also as a book that's called Falling Into Place, because it looks like all the little glasses are falling in, so it's called Falling Into Place. So I was going to read some pieces from that one, and then I might read something from the other one. So I'm going to grab the one from cc&d first. This, I'm not going to read the GPA poem, because GPA, the greatest poet alive, the poet, if he showed up, maybe he'll read it. That would be double plus awesome. It really would. And I'm not going to ask you to, hey, the greatest poet alive. He won what did he win at not a triathlon, he won something from I can't remember, from last fall, but he's a great great performer. He's really, really good.
He always ends with my poem.
My poem. My poem.
My poem.
So if he shows up, I'd love it if he'd read this. So I'm going to read a couple pieces from here, because we've got some time. This is from Christine Ong Muslim, M-U-S-L-I-M, and this is from a series that was actually in a chapbook, I believe, and this is a very short piece called Mr. Flip as a Sarcophagus. He is measured, carved with patterns of chariots and the beasts that drive them. There is no vessel more beautiful than the one which bears the dead. He is slammed in place only once. Dust settles down on top of him. Waiting for the dust particles to touch down keeps him entertained. The bones inside him remain safe. He smiles, and the lid cracks an inch a gap. This is from Michael Cerolo. I have no idea how to say the last name. C-E-R-A-O-L-O. Cerolo. Michael, I'm going to stick but you do a bunch of pieces in this, and I think you do in many verses. This is part one, or poem one, of On Several Adventures in Municipal Government. All entirely appropriate, because we just had our voting today. How many people voted? Probably 20%. Did anybody here vote?
Oh, in the suburban...
Today? I mean, there was stuff today in the city and in suburbs for... Yeah, exactly. I didn't know to do it, and it was like, oh, I keep hearing it, and I'm like, oh, well, I have a doctor's appointment, I'll do it. Oh, I forgot, and so that didn't get done. Sorry, Chicago.
Oh, well.
I stink. This is on several adventures in municipal government. Little six-liner for Michael. It was the traditional tripe in favor of changing the form of the local government. The stated aim to bring about more professionalism. Translated, that means he favored the change because he held some hope of being appointed to a new position, having no hope at all of being elected to an existing one. Michael, thank you. Versus anything else I have here. Versus the other stuff, so thank you, Michael. This is my last one from cc&d, really short ones, from Kevin Heaton, called Cycles of the Sun. As the sun shares her light, a young girl is raped, and roadside bombs explode while songbirds serenade suicide. Bombers entertaining sidewalk cafes with lambs bedding down at peace as human beings are tortured and beheaded. At the same time, a mare delivers her foal. Nuclear warheads wait. A gentle dove weeps. Thank you very much. This is what I did for many others. Thank you from other people. And because I said I'd get to know edit 2 magazines, cc&d Down in the Dirt magazine was originally an offshoot, a sub-part of cc&d magazine, and the editor said, I don't want to do it anymore, so I get to do it. But the April issue, volume 93, was also released as a book called Wake Up and Smell the Flowers. And if John Yatko is here, I get to praise him because he happens to be the photographer of this. He photographed this somewhere in north of Seattle, I believe. So it's cover by John Yatko. So I will read. Oh, what should I read? I've got a napkin in here because I was going to read 2 pieces by other people before reading something of my own. So we'll try that. This is a poem by Richard Shelton, out of Wake Up and Smell the Flowers, the April 2011 issue of Down in the Dirt, called In the Very Back. Where starry skies platinum the horizon, flayed way back in the farthest known reaches, hides each in his own heart sorrows borrowed from life, prodigious in their longevity, overlapping lives, sorrows kept alive by an indispensable lack of clarity. Now I am going to read a piece that is by Micah Thornton. I have to look at it to read. Called Hurry Up and Wait. Hurry up and wait. Can't wait for the week to end, I overheard. Just gotta make it through, he said. And as I took another drag of my cigarette out in the cold, I wondered how many people live by waiting and not knowing they are already dead. They aren't waiting for the weekend or to return to empty rooms and empty beds after shift. They are waiting on the grave to be bathed in fluids that will allow them to wait longer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy. And when being happy enough to be the editor of Down the Dirt, I saw that and I was like, holy cow, hurry up and wait. I have a piece that I actually did for a performance art show at Waiting for the Bus, where I started everything with an intro from Soul Coughing. Waiting for the, get onto the bus. Dun, dun. So I did this prose piece, and I actually sat in a lotus position, which you can't really do here, so I'm just going to read this prose piece called Hurry Up and Wait. People are rushing, don't have time for breakfast after you slam the alarm snooze button 3 times, stumble out of bed, you're clean enough, just, forget the shower, clean up your face, smooth your hair, put on your work clothes, grab the briefcase, lock the door, speed up and avoid the sweat of a near sprint to make it to the L train or the bus stop. You can grab a muffin and coffee on your way to work once you actually get there, you think, as your light pants doesn't change once you stopped at the stop. You've still got places to be. Check your watch. Look down the street. Where is your carrier? You need that vehicle to get you to where you need to be. Pace a bit. Adjust your clothes. Check your watch again. This is corporate America, you think. Hurry up and wait. The world rotates over 100,000 miles an hour. Everything is spinning. Observe the world, see more and more, but feel connected less and less. Is it possible to relax when you least expect to? When people would take smoke breaks at work, 20-minute breaks from the office high-rise every hour, I thought, if they can take smoke breaks like that, I can take 1 or 2 40-minute breaks a day to walk up and down these 42 flights of stairs. At least it's better than smoking. Well, if I can do that, I can pick up the recyclable garbage left in the streets while I'm walking after thinking that people are pigs for throwing recyclable trash out like that, because if I don't do something after I complain, I'm almost as bad as they are. If I can make choices like that, maybe I can look for peace or even meditate anywhere, even at a bus stop. If you could find some time to just stop, after an hour, the Earth would have moved 600,000 miles. I wonder, with the world spinning like this, if you could just meditate, mentally step outside of it all, gain a new perspective, come to peace with everything. I wonder what people would think if I do this. I just wanted to see if I could finally relax. What's funny about that is I actually had John film me. I actually meditated at the bottom of there's a bus stop sign, and I'm sitting there in the lotus position in Chicago. It was a bus stop on the south side of the loop is where it was. I don't remember the street intersection. I don't. But then as I'm scrubbing through my stuff, I happened to notice this one, which I found really funny, because I think I wrote this right after my accident, after I had almost died in a near-fatal car accident, and it's in the book Recovery, because there are a bunch of recovery poems, and they're not very good, but I thought this was uncanny, and it was called Get to That Point. I haven't figured out how to relax yet. I see people do it. I see people lounging around, but I'm always thinking, and I've been trying to figure out how to stop that. It's like, I wish there was just a switch for your brain, so that when you don't want to think, you could just turn off your brain, or put it in sleep mode, as they say with computers. Well, anyway, I was just thinking that I need to learn how to relax. I even bought one of those massage mats for chairs that vibrate and stuff. And I have to admit, it's a nice mat, and it's very relaxing. I enjoy it. But the key is, I have to get me into the mat in the first place, because I could buy all the traps in the world to help me relax more, but I have to want to use them. I have to use them too, I guess. But that's where my dilemma is. I don't know how to get to that point.